what the format is today. Each candidate will begin with a 2-minute opening statement, will be asked a series of pre-selected questions, and end with a 1-minute closing statement. All candidates will be asked a set of predetermined questions, each candidate answering the first question before moving to the next. Each candidate will be given 1 minute to respond to each question. The candidates have agreed to these rules of engagement. They will show each other common courtesy. There will be no personal attacks. They will not interrupt another candidate while that candidate has the floor. Any candidate who is interrupted by the audience or another candidate during his or her presentation will be given equivalent time for the response. And we ask that the audience abide by these same rules and refrain from any and all disturbances. And we will begin with the opening statement.
Quick question, do we have someone that's telling us the time?
Yes, we do have timekeepers right in front, and they will be holding up cards that will show you how much time you
great.
have left and when your time is up.
Okay.
Okay, and they are right on the button with that. It's okay. Okay, Steve.
Hello, my name is Stephen Samarco, and I'm running for Redondo Beach City Council District 4. I want to first thank the Chamber for having this event, also my esteemed colleagues, Ms. Jeffries and Mr. Stern, for being here as well. I'm proud to have the endorsement of the Redondo Beach Police and Fire, Al Murasachi, Betsy Butler, and Rabbi Yossi Mintz. Artesia business owners Wally Marks, Nico of Raj Charborough, Jeff Salee of Catalina Coffee, Odetta Leonelli of Kovacs 5 Pharmacy, and Paul of Paul's Liquor, just to name a few. Before I start, I want to say if elected, I will not accept the city's health care package and will donate 50% of the money I raise to the Redondo Beach Unified School District. I believe in public school system. It needs our help. Volunteer, contribute, do something. My mother raised my sister and I. I learned my work ethic from working on the family blueberry farm. It was back-breaking work from sunup to sundown. It was my mother who taught me there's no such thing as a free lunch, and those words stick with me today. I moved to the South Bay 22 years ago after obtaining my bachelor's degree from Seton Hall University. I came to California to obtain a master's degree in public administration with a focus on public finance, which I did complete. I met my wife in 2004. We bought a home in Redondo Beach and married on the Redondo Beach Pier. We love Redondo Beach. We now have 2 children who both attend public school systems in Redondo Beach. During the day, I run a small public affairs firm in the 4th District on Artesia Boulevard. We deal with policy issues involving public safety, development, and the environment, just to name a few. In our spare time, we enjoy volunteering at our kids' schools as PTA members, coaching AYSO soccer and Redondo Beach Little League. In 1997, I received the Rotary District 5280 Community Program of the Year Award for the Yellow Bikes of Hermosa Beach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jan?
Thank you, Ruth, and thank you, Chamber, for this forum today. And a special thanks to all of the folks that are watching on in their home on TV. I'm Jan Jeffries. I'm a property taxpayer in the South Bay for the past 28 years. My current Redondo home, 14 years now. My qualifications include, first, 2010, I was appointed by the mayor to the Library Commission. I know firsthand current council members, commissioners, policies, procedures. I took the ethics training course, know the Brown Act, and who's who in the city. As Library Commissioner, I attend regular meetings, vote on agenda items, and isn't that great? We now have a library on Artesia Boulevard. I do have a solid education background, Bachelor of Arts, double major, Business and Advertising Art. I was senior class president, graduated in 7 semesters with a 3.5 GPA. Master of Science degree, major Business Management, minor Marketing. Next, in 1985, I was recruited, hired, relocated by a major LA South Bay company. And one day a large moving van came to my house, moved me, and here I am. I I've been a consistent volunteer, making a real contribution to my city. Living across the street from Perry Park, a senior center, a neighbor asked me one day to help out with the project. The next thing you knew, 7 or 8 years, I ran the special events, potlucks, Thanksgiving, luau's, fundraisers, Christmas parties, and all of that for the seniors. My people skills allow me to work efficiently and easily. I've been a YMCA tour guide, Torrance Memorial Holiday Festival, Heart of the City program, on and on. At my townhouse, I've been HOA president for the past 14 years.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Julian.
My name is Julian Stern, and I'm running for council because I love Redondo Beach. It's a great place, but it could be better. I have a detailed plan and specific ideas to get it to that better place. My plan is to ensure government transparency, efficiency, and responsiveness, support strong economic growth within the city, and improve the quality of life of the residents. I've lived here my entire life. That's 17 years, 11 months, and 360 days. I've been involved with local politics for some time, and I've been eyeing this seat for 8 years. One thing I can assure you of is my dedication and desire to serve the community. I would not be sitting here without it. For a while, I was told I would have to be a write-in candidate. I respectfully insisted that my name be on the ballot, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to represent you. That same dedication will be ever present when I'm your councilman, a dedication to the city, to the residents. Let me represent you. What's important to you is important to me. As I meet with residents, I tell them how critical their input is, and I would depend on it if elected. I represent a new dynamic, a new voice, the voice of the future of Redondo Beach. Decisions are being made today that will have an impact far into tomorrow. Our city runs as a well-oiled machine. Allow me to be the new generation to make sure it continues to be maintained. Let me come to council and approach each item before it with an open mind. If your vision for Redondo aligns with mine, if you feel the need to have a councilman working for you, I would be honored to have your vote.
Thank you. Let's begin with our questions, and if at any time you want me to repeat the question, please let me know. And we'll start with Steve. The citizens and business owners in Redondo Beach appreciate the commitment you are making by running for public office. Please tell us why you are running and making this enormous decision.
Well, I'm running for Redondo Beach City Council because I want to make a difference. We bought a home here in 2005. We have 2 children in the public school systems. We're vested to the community. I want to first prioritize protecting the families of Redondo Beach. I believe this is what government was created to do. As your council representative, I will partner with other public safety officials, local businesses, schools, and residents to prioritize public safety every day, not just on election day.
Okay. Jan.
I am running for city council because I have an extensive amount of community service, and my community is important to me. I'm very concerned about safety. Therefore, I think we need to get involved with the CERT program, which is community emergency training. I've worked for both large and small companies, and I know what it takes to make a profit. We need to concentrate on that. I am running for city council because I have the education, the experience. I sit here as a commissioner in these comfortable seats, and I really feel that I can contribute and maintain what our city has done. It's a fabulous city, and we just need to keep nurturing it along. Thank you.
Julian.
My answer is simple. I have a strong desire to bring the needs of my neighbors before the council, and I have a strong desire to serve my neighbors, and that's why I want to run for city council, and I think city council would be the best way to serve my neighbors.
Okay, thank you. Next question, and we'll start with Jan. Historically, the South Bay Galleria has contributed approximately 40% of the city's sale tax revenue.
Yes.
One of the major anchors, Nordstrom, has announced a plan to move to Del Amo in 2 years. What do you propose to maintain the significant business role that the Galleria has played over all these years?
Well, yes, we all love the Galleria. It's a fabulous shopping area. was a surprise to all of us. It was a shock when we first heard about Nordstrom. But when you stand back and look at the big picture, and you know that, less than a block away, they put Nordstrom's Rack, you have to stop and think, wasn't that a master plan? Wasn't that a strategy that they planned before they ever made the public announcement? They knew what was going on. I plan to work very closely with the people, management at the Galleria. I don't know if that's been done before, but there are major revenue, and we need to protect that as best we can. I'm confident we will get something as good as Nordstrom's, perhaps better. Thank you.
Julian?
We must all remember that the Galleria is a private enterprise, and they want someone there just as much as we do, and I'm confident 100% that they will find a replacement for the Nordstrom store. Of course, as councilman, I would work closely with Forest City to make sure that a good tenant does move in and that they're contributing to our tax revenue. But at the end of the day, they'll take care of it, and I'll just be there to help them out.
Thank you. Steve?
I think Nordstrom is just one issue at that mall. Recently, in the last few years, we've lost 18 police officers due to cuts. As many of you may not know, the city has decided not to pay its cost share for many, many months, which basically left the mall without any police. So my first order of business would be to take care of the security of the mall first, look for a tenant to replace Nordstrom second.
Okay, thank you. Next question, and we'll start with Julian. 1992 was the last time that a holistic zoning review on Artesia Boulevard was completed. What would you like to see on Artesia Boulevard, and how and when would you go about doing it?
I like what I'm seeing right now. I like all the mom and pop stores on Artesia. My family owns 2 businesses in the 4th District. That's what I want to see, more family-run businesses, and I want to see that opportunity grow. Right now, as I've been speaking with many of the businesses on Artesia, and I ask how business is, I get a myriad of answers, but when I ask, is the city helping you? Do they help you out? I get 2 answers, yes or no. If elected, I'd like to hear one answer, and that is the city's on our side. I'd like to make zoning and gaining permits easier for those small businesses on Artesia. So I'd like to just see the permit process sped up and more small businesses and more vitality brought to Artesia Boulevard.
Steve?
Can you repeat the question,
Sure.
please?
1992 was the last time that a holistic zoning review on Artesia Boulevard was completed. What would you like to see on Artesia Boulevard, and how and when would you go about doing it?
I disagree with Mr. Stern. I think there's a lot we can do on Artesia Boulevard, first starting with the Business Improvement District. I think that would give greater autonomy to the business owners to govern themselves. Second, again, in the way of safety, we've had our children murdered. There was an armed robbery on Artesia and Vale, and nothing has been done. I don't see security cameras. I don't see emergency phone call boxes. What I'd like is some input from these businesses before decisions are made that may affect them. Thank you.
Jan?
I believe that Artesia Boulevard is a gold mine, only we haven't really dug for it. It's not deep enough yet. I agree with you, Steve. I don't know if any of you have ever gone to the website that the North Redondo Business Association has. It is great. Those people are doing great things. The small mom and pops, the major chains, we go all the way from Nordstrom's, or the Galleria, excuse me, Walgreens, all the way down to Rite Aid, and we forget that little section on Artesia Boulevard. That belongs to us also. There's so much to be done, and I'd like to make the process for businesses a lot more streamlined, a lot easier for them to start up their business, especially mom and pop companies. They're mom and pops. They need help. Let's make it easy for them.
Thank you. Okay, next question, and we'll start with Steve. AES has submitted plans to repower into a much smaller footprint and has offered to have up to 38 acres for other uses. Is Measure A the right solution for the AES site, or do you prefer another solution?
I think the day of power plants in bedroom communities are long gone. As far as the initiative is concerned, I'm concerned. The way I read the initiative, and let me start by saying, I was around back in, I think it was 1998, when Rosamond Fogg started the initiative in Hermosa Beach against the oil well, which still, I believe, looms today. I'm concerned with the legal ramifications of this initiative, should it pass. We are, in essence, rezoning this land in order to take it away from AES. And I think the lawsuit and the room of lawyers that will come with it will last a very long time. So I am against the initiative. Thank you.
Okay. Jan?
Very interesting question. So glad you brought that to the front. It's the prime topic. I certainly have been reading in the papers and hearing a lot of conversation about Measure A, so I'm somewhat informed about it. However, my style of decision-making, such as a lot of you folks right here, you're here to get information. So I know about Measure A, but I really don't know about the other side of the coin. I personally want to know. I called up Eric Pendergraph Thursday and left a message that I'm running for city council and I was interested in meeting with him to get his point of view. And as yet, I have not heard from Eric. So I am, at this point, I am leaning more towards Measure A, but I haven't made a solid decision. Again, I'm saying I'm leaning towards it, but I am waiting to hear from Eric. Hopefully he'll call me. That is my answer. I'm leaning towards it.
Thank you. Julian?
I've spent a lot of time thinking about Measure A, and I've spent a lot of time speaking with people on complete opposite sides of it. I've had great conversations with Mr. Brand, and I'm meeting with Mr. Pendergraph and having a tour of AES tomorrow. As of Measure A, I do not think it's the right choice for Redondo Beach. My problem with Measure A is the zoning percentage of breakdown of land, 70% park, 30% commercial, and a sliding scale in between. As I've been speaking with my neighbors, they don't want to pay for a park in District 2. It'd be a money pit. The initiative doesn't say who will pay for that park, who will maintain it. So I'm against Measure A, but while I say that, I'm open to the possibility of not having a power plant there. I'd like to sit down with AES and the city to see what would be fair to both parties and would be most beneficial to both.
Thank you. Okay, next question, and we'll start with Jan. What do you see as the city council's role in regard to engaging the school board to solve mutual problems?
We need to work hand in hand with the school board. The education of our children has to be our prime concern. They are the future leaders of our city. So working hand in hand with the school board is imperative. I do have my CBEST, California Bureau of Educational Testing, so I'm confident that I have firsthand knowledge about what goes on in the school district. So my answer is to work hand in hand with them. It's very important. Thank you.
Julian?
Of course, a relationship and a strong relationship with the school board is completely necessary for the betterment of our city and our schools. I've attended Redondo schools, so I have a strong relationship with many of the staff, teachers, superintendent, and school board members. So I would, of course, as everyone else up here has stated, and I'm sure Mr. Samarka will state the same thing, we want a strong relationship between the two. And I strongly support the subcommittee that the council has that meets regularly with the school board, and I'd like to continue that.
Thank you. Steve?
I not only agree, I live by that motto. Most recently, organized and helped to do the Bernie cleanup at Bernie School. I am the Madison School Volunteer Santa Claus. I am the Beach Cities Health District Garden Docent at Madison School. And on February 21st, I will be holding a fingerprint security scan for the students of Madison. So I believe strongly in a school-city council relationship, and I will continue to act thus way. Thank you.
Next question, and we'll lead off with Julian. A majority of city revenue comes from business in the city. As a policymaker, what would your focus be on general business issues in your district and throughout the city to help to create business success and job creation?
I have two answers to that question. One, I would like to see the city stay on the track of being more and more business-friendly, speeding up the permit process, and making sure that the city planners don't micromanage business. And another answer to that question is, I'd like to see more of our tax money stay in the city. Only 18 cents of every dollar of our taxes stays in our city. The rest of it goes to state and federal funds. I'd like to lobby our state and federal officials to make sure more of our money stays here, and then we're not required to follow so many of these unfunded mandates that are handed down to us. So that's how I would address economic stability.
I tend to concur with Julian. Business is the mainstay of our tax base, and you cannot run a city, or you cannot run a business, and a city is a business. You cannot run without a lucrative tax base. Business is the key. We don't want to overburden our residents with additional taxes, so to encourage business, new business, the tourism, visitors, the hotels, the revitalization of the waterfront, those are just wonderful things, and I see a great, great future for Redondo Beach. Thank you.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. A majority of city revenue comes from business in the city. As a policymaker, what would your focus be on general business issues in your district and throughout the city to help to create business success and job creation?
Look, over the last 3-4 years, we've lost 18 police officers. It's no secret that my goal is to put more police on the street. I get asked every day, how are you going to do it? Where's the money coming from? One of the ideas that I have, which I believe local leaders should have, is a little bit of creativity. My plan revolves around regionalizing SWAT. Redondo Beach SWAT at this point has been called 3 times this year. Hermosa Beach has actually dropped their SWAT program because of the cost. So if we could regionalize our SWAT, we could use that savings then to put more police on the street. Let me further say, I'm also not afraid to open any service contract for a better price for businesses or our residents. What I mean by that is currently our waste hauler made an effort to come from La Puente, basically saying it was expensive for them to do business down here. Well, now they not only have Redondo Beach, they have Hermosa Beach. I'd open that contract, I'd ask for a better price, since now they not only have Redondo, but they also have Hermosa. Thank you.
Okay. Next question, and we got a little bit out of order, but we'll start with Steve. Okay. How important do you believe public transit is to our city and our region? If it needs improving, what options do you propose?
I think it does need improving. One of the real problems with the AES development was the fact that we weren't getting anything. Here, AES had made a deal to rebuild their power plant, but the city came away with nothing. My idea, as a leader, would have been to institute a trolley car. Let AES operate the trolley car. Let them pay for the trolley car. Let it go up and down our main boulevards, Artesia Boulevard. Let it go up and down PCH, transporting our children to the beach, our shoppers to the malls. That's what I would have done.
Thank you.
That's a great question, Ruth. I love it. We all know that Redondo Beach is a little over 6 square miles, and I personally can't see the cost and of running a trolley car, as I'd heard not only from Steve but someone earlier today. 6 square miles, I don't know. Right now in my district, we have a bus that goes all the way from the Galleria, down the corridor, all the way to the beach. A lot of people love the beach, and they don't go because there isn't parking. One of the things that I'm planning on doing as a council member is doing something simple and fun and effective for the neighbors, my neighbors, the people of District 4. And I'm calling that project Bus to the Beach. Meet over on Artesia Boulevard, hop on the bus, you pay a small token, drops you off at the beach, and there you are, having fun.
Thank you. Julian?
Public transit is extremely important to me, and I think extremely important to the city. That's why I've attended regional MTA meetings, and I have a plan for public transit in our district. Currently in our district, there's a plan to have a new transit center at the old Verizon location. Business on that is stalled. Let's get to work on breaking ground on that new transit center. Let's get people coming to Redondo Beach and coming to District 4, spending their money here, and let's work with residents and people who ride the bus and the Beach Cities Transit to expand the lines and see what lines they want. And that's how I would increase interest about public transportation and encourage it.
Thank you. Our last question, and also dealing with traffic, and we'll start with Jan. There are some residents that complain about traffic within the city. Do you believe we have a traffic problem in Redondo Beach? If so, where are the problems, and how would you address them?
Well, bottom line is, we live in Los Angeles. We're a major city. There's going to be traffic. We all know that. How can we prevent traffic? We really can't. How can we streamline it? Perhaps we can. I know the city has been working, even with the bike path, the circles that they've put together. Our previous council and mayor, they've done a great job as trying to alleviate. PCH, that's US 1, goes all the way from one end of our country up to Canada. So, what are we going to do about that? We can't stop those cars, and as someone mentioned earlier, those people aren't necessarily residents. We have to live with the traffic. That's really what living in LA is about. Let's drive in traffic and find the little shortcuts, and let's use that bus more often. We are not bus people in LA, but I want to learn and teach people how to do that.
Thank you. Julian?
Well, I drive around the city, I drive around the surrounding cities, and I can't complain. But I suppose it is an issue, and what I would say to that is when we draft up new plans, just keep in mind the concerns of the residents every step of the way and make sure that we can minimize traffic as much as possible. I support the full implementation of the South Bay Master Bicycle Plan, and as I've said, I support public transit, so that may free up the road space a little bit.
Okay. Thank you. Steve?
Traffic. I guess I have a different opinion of traffic as a business owner. I like traffic. Traffic means people with wallets and people looking to buy things. I'd like to see some more traffic, some business traffic, coming to our shopping at our local businesses. As you know, I did win a Rotary in 1997, the Rotary Community Program of the Year for the Yellow Bikes of Hermosa Beach, which was based on alleviating traffic. So although I do enjoy traffic as a business owner, as a resident, I'd like to see less of it. Thank you.
Each candidate now has 1 minute to make a closing statement. We'll begin with Julian, then Steve, then Jan.
From this forum, I hope you picked up on my honesty and my vision, and that I will have an unfaltering commitment to the city. Let's keep the city on the right track and not let it deviate. Let's be sure the city continues its efforts to be more transparent, efficient, and responsive. Let's be sure that the city has a strong economic base on which to stand. Let's bring business here and keep business here. Let's bring jobs here and keep jobs here. Let's be sure the residents' quality of life continues to improve, that our schools are the best they can be, that our city is as safe as it can be, and that we build a community that every resident can be proud of. Again, your input is critical, and any questions or concerns you may have, contact me anytime. My telephone number is 310-406-4203. That's 310-406-4203. If you feel this city is headed for great new places and that I would be a good person to help lead it there, please cast your vote for me, Julian Stern.
Steve?
Whether it's protecting a child or the elderly from abuse, quality of life starts with safer neighborhoods. We have lost approximately 18 police officers due to cuts. I will work to restore our police department, but with all great ideas, it always comes down to the money, which is truly the crux of local government, the ability to continue to cut costs and at the same time improve services. It can be done. I have ideas on how to save the city money. I'm proud to be a fiscal conservative and have the endorsement both of fire and police, and Assemblymember Al Murasacci. Remember, a good civil servant not only knows the facts, he understands the will of his people. I have set up a few different public opinion polls on my website so I can better represent the will of the people. Please visit www.steve4citycouncil.com and let me know what you think. Thank you.
Jen.
Thank you, Ruth. To summarize my qualifications and why I am here, I just want to say I'm rather comfortable sitting in this seat, as I have been since 2010, and as a commissioner. I have the education. I've worked for both large and small companies and know what it takes to make a profit. We cannot have policemen without profit. You can't run a business unless you can pay bills and pay your employees' salaries. I'm a business leader, a problem solver, high achiever, quick learner, a team player, and a manager. I have a record of sincere, continuous community involvement, high integrity, high values, strong work ethic, and I have the experience. I have what it takes, and that's what I'm all about. Regarding AES, I'm not certain. They haven't been a good neighbor. They really didn't pay their taxes when they moved in. I'm waiting for that phone call. As your council member, I want you to know personally, I'll hear your issues. I promise. I will take your concerns to City Hall. I want to be your voice. I'll take a strong stance on your concerns. Please vote for me, March 5th, City Council, District 4. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That concludes the District 4 forum, and it concludes the candidates forum. The district attorney was scheduled to make a few remarks this afternoon, but he was called to a meeting in Los Angeles and will not be back in time. I want to thank all of the candidates for taking the time to participate in this event, and thank you again to our sponsors for making it possible. And a special thanks to the Redondo Beach Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau for hosting this event, and to the volunteers who helped organize it. And thank you, all of you, for attending this afternoon. And just a reminder, we have a candidates reception scheduled for 4:30, and we hope you can attend. Thank you.